Hello everyone and welcome to this YouTube Q&A. I'm going to be answering your questions, whether you're here live or in the replay. I can answer in the comments or who knows, maybe even a YouTube short. I'm really excited to be here. We are just going to be answering any questions you may have. YouTube is a long game, whether you are just thinking about doing YouTube, you've been doing YouTube for a while. I just want to help make things a little bit easier. But before we get too into it, I wanted to go ahead and thank and shout out some of our members. So Chantel Hills, who I've seen in the chat, Homekeeping Channel, Home Rapid Repair, Doug Houston, Six Shop, Driving Visibility, aka Anita, Ike's Alternative, and Noti Buddy. Thank you so much for being members. Always happy to be here. So I have some questions that I've got already preloaded, but I would love to have your questions as they come in. And so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So one question I get is, how do you make better content on YouTube? This is twofold. There's better content when it comes to technical quality, and then there is better content in terms of longer view duration, longer people watching, whether that's a short, whether that's a long form video. And the first thing I'd say is it's super important to, not only when you're creating content, but when you're watching it back and editing, to think, as a viewer, am I entertained? Is this something I'm searching for or looking for? You can use YouTube's trends tab, their inspiration tab, to see if things are things people are curious about. So I just want to make sure that whenever you talk about how do you make better content on YouTube, you look at it from those lenses. Now, I often operate on one for the audience and one for myself, meaning that if my audience is really curious about a topic and I also want to talk about it, I tend to make that video and give it to them, as well as I also try to look for things that interest me that I also think may not necessarily be heavily searched, but people need to hear. Speaking of people, I see we have some people joining us. I see Chantel Hill says, got my coffee. Happy to see. Ember Skies Media. I think a lot of TikTokers would love to hear how to make it on YouTube, navigating both short form and long forms that are available. Really great topic there. We'll definitely talk into that. Good to see you, Jaden. Hello, everyone. Happy to have you here. I see Luigi Tavares. I am trying to do better content. Always very important to do. And Livestream Consultant says, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy to see you. I don't have coffee. I have throat coat, which is one of the ways I do this stream. Because I'll tell you, if you talk for a long period of time, having something that can help you. So that could be a question. How do you do a live for a long period of time without your voice going? Things like throat coat, drinking a lot of water, hydrating your vocal cords before you go live. Super important, especially. I do want to focus, not really a question from Ember Sky Media, but it is a statement. I think a lot of TikTokers would love to hear how to make it on YouTube, navigating both short form content and long form. So if you're coming from TikTok and you're trying to understand how to really grow on YouTube, it is a little bit of a balance. Short form content just got better for the time of watching this. They've extended it to 3 minutes. In the future, they'll probably go even longer. And if you're making long form, it is a little bit different than the short form. YouTube Shorts, vertical video like on TikTok, has a Shorts feed. This is a broad appealing feed, but some of the YouTube basics still apply. YouTube looks at your title, looks at the transcript of the short. What are you actually talking about, to really determine the best way to serve it, not only in the Shorts feed, but on platform in general. One strength that YouTube has compared to TikTok, Instagram Reels, etc., is it still ties into Google. I've seen YouTube Shorts start popping up to answers to Googleable questions. So while YouTube is, not new, it's been since 2020, we're almost coming on 5 years of YouTube Shorts, they're still a different place than TikTok, and they do have that searchability factor. For long form, it is a lot different. That's where title comes into play, thumbnail. So if you're coming over, learning how to come up with good long form topics is key. Things like SEO or search engine optimization can make a huge difference for you. So if you're coming over from TikTok, there's a lot to learn. It's not impossible. It's just a different set of skills. Really lean into that shorts while you're starting, I'd say, just because it's something familiar, something you kind of know how to do. Learn what your audience wants. One thing to keep in mind on YouTube over TikTok is YouTube really likes clarity of what you want to talk about. TikTok allows a little bit more variety. Not to say you can't have that, just something to think about. So hopefully that helps. Oh, hydration needs to start when you wake up, not just during your live. Absolutely. As I said, hydrating long before you go live. For me, having a little bit of tea also helps when it comes to normal videos. So, and I see from Luigi, I go live on PS5 with all my streams. And again, gaming live streams, similar ideas. Love this already, just came into this live. Well, welcome, Joy. Happy to have you here. So I just came to his live. Well, thank you. Welcome. Happy to have some new faces here. Diet Coke or icy depends on how warm and dry it is in the southern deserts. Fair enough. So fun fact, I actually don't like carbonated drinks. So I don't really drink sodas. I don't really like Diet Cokes. So for me, tea is kind of that. I have gotten into coffee for that caffeine need. Hello, Susan, aka Homekeeping Channel. Happy to see you. Nice ties into Google. Yes, sir. Searchability factor. Absolutely. That's one of the things that I would say when it comes to, you know, TikTok versus YouTube Shorts is that is a strength of the medium. Now, I see where you're getting a lot more people in, so I want to make sure if you have a question, all you have to do is put hashtag question. Makes it super easy for me to find it. Things like that. Here's from Jaden. So if I do a first live stream, how do I get people in it? Love this question. And so this question is, how do I get people to join my first live stream? One thing I can't stress enough is you have to promote it. A live stream is an event, especially a first live stream. One mistake I see people make is, this is my first live stream. That's not a lot of value to a viewer, but it is a lot of value to you. One thing I would say is look at what has been either working on your channel if you have a channel that's been established for a while, or look at what people are searching for so that you can tap into interests that your audience already has. That way, when you are going live, you can mention it's your first time live streaming in the stream. However, you're still keeping the focus back to the viewer, which is super important. I don't want you to make the mistake of, come join my first live stream. It doesn't end up having a lot of the benefits that YouTube offers, which is long form traction after you go live. Again, you can celebrate in the stream that it's your first live stream. I just wouldn't title it and I wouldn't focus on it in that way so that it can have a larger and longer life past your first live stream. Again, maybe you add it in the description so that if people are searching for it, they can find it that way, but keep the focus on the viewer, even if it's your first live stream. Again, you can tell them at the top, this is my first time doing this. I'm not perfect. I'm getting better at it. Again, it's just a way that you can add that value. So hopefully, you know, Jaden, hopefully, I hope that helps. And another thing to keep in mind is when you are making a topic that is either historically good for your channel or people are searching for, it can do really well. In fact, I actually did this more recently on one of my better performing streams where I tapped into something I wanted to talk about, something my audience was looking for. And the views compared to some of my other replays were really much better, which was kind of what I was going for. So I think, you know, it's that balance of not only making sure you make something that you're interested in and that it's your first, but it's also something that there's added value for that replay viewer. There's added value for new people. And of course, no one wants to post anything and it doesn't do well. So that's just some easy things you can do that can really go a long way in helping. So hopefully that helps. And to give you that example, I did this live stream. Oh, wrong view one, pardon me. Did this live stream, 1.1 thousand views, which for a replay is really good for my channel personally. So I really think it depends, but that's what I would recommend. Great to see you, 3D Plastic Fantasy. Happy to have you here. Really love the stuff that you're doing. Eileen Smith, happy to have you here. Shout outs, Eileen, one of the best creators out there. There are a lot of great creators out there, but Eileen, I hope I give you your flowers enough. I hope you're doing well, and it's always great to see you. All right, we have a question from Scatha, great to see you as well. Live stream consultants. If the first live stream is on YouTube, promote it to your VOD content as well as other socials leading up to the live stream. Absolutely. One thing I will note though, is if you're going to promote it in those videos, be sure it's a stream you are going to keep live. I see this mistake as well. People do a live stream and then they private it. Nothing wrong with it. However, keep in mind that a live stream can live on as a replay, and that is its own unique piece of content outside of the event. When I started this stream, I welcomed the live viewers, the people watching the replay, and even mentioned I'm going to reply to some of these as shorts. Speaking of YouTube Shorts, you can make YouTube Shorts from your live streams so that if there's a moment that people might find valuable outside of the stream, you have another piece of content. There are tools that make it super easy. There's Opus Clip. That's obviously I'm partnered with them in full transparency. But you can also use YouTube's remixing feature. There's a lot of ways you can get extra value out of a live stream. So I love what Live Stream Consultants is saying there. Just some things to think about, and definitely like that. You can also post about it in your community tab. But again, when you're posting your first live stream, make sure the value is not only for you, the streamer, but for you in the audience. Hopefully that makes sense. I stream for the replay. Great mindset to be in. Ready, Set, Autism Family. Hi, Andrew. Good to see you. We are going to be starting new channels as we have had a few major life changes. We've been traveling full time with our 4 kids too. We have stories and many to tell. Happy to see. Happy holidays, New Year, and best of luck on your brand new channel. If you have any questions on what you'd like to do and see, let me know. We have from Ember Skies Media. I'm now aiming in 2025 to get 10K replays on lives, currently 3 to 7K range. Hey, that is not a bad place to be. Right now, like I said, I too am thinking with the replay in mind. It's not that I wasn't, but it depends the stream, right? This stream is for the people in the audience. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I got some that I have from before, but would love to see them. Eileen says, thank you. Thank you, Eileen, for all you do for our community. Question from Eileen, right as I say it. Question, can you turn on sub-only chat from mobile? Yes and no. So through the mobile app, no. So here's the thing. Can you turn on subs only chat in mobile? I haven't been able to find it. This could be there. I just haven't been able to find it in either the YouTube app or Studio Mobile. But if I use it, if I go to a Google Chrome tab, use desktop mode, I'm able to mimic a desktop and do it on my phone. I have not been able to find through the apps provided by YouTube an easy way to do it. So the answer to your question, Eileen, is yes, you can turn on sub-only chat from mobile devices. It's just not through the apps, if that makes sense. And from, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, Joy Rochelle. Question for smaller channels. Do you recommend live streaming on YouTube? Does it help the channel grow? And does it age well? Like, will people find it if that's what they are looking for? So I love this question. If you are wanting to live stream, it really depends how you plan the stream, right? If you make a live stream is like any piece of YouTube content. It needs to be compelling and it needs to be searchable. When I did my previous stream, which I talked about a little bit earlier, which is a YouTube thumbnail full course, I made this with the replay in mind and thinking about search. I saw my audience was looking for a YouTube thumbnail full course, right? So I went, make click-worthy thumbnails for free. Free is a huge thing people want to know. This is an Adobe Express course. Didn't even mention that. I focused on what the audience told me they wanted, which was a YouTube thumbnail full course. That's what this live stream is. So for my audience, when they were watching this, this is incredibly valuable, right? So when it comes to, do live streams help your channel grow? It depends your topic of your live stream. I fully went in with that live stream with the idea, this is something my audience wants, something I'm passionate about, and something that can age well and people can find. So it really depends the topic you do. Now, if you're wondering how can I find topics that people are interested in, then I can show that too. So YouTube used to call this the inspiration tab. It is now the trends tab. So if we go to the trends tab here, this gives you ideas for your next video. I'll hide this so it's a little clearer to see. So how to make better content on YouTube is something people are looking for. Also a question I get a lot. You can see start a video, title, background, and incorporating branding into video content. These are all things people are looking for. And if I go to show more, like let's say YouTube audience retention, right? This has low interest from my audience, but audience retention on YouTube in general has high search interest, right? So those are ways I can find what people are looking for and give them that immediate answer that helps my replay do well, be searched. But again, I gave this advice earlier. If it's just like, come join my first live stream, it's gonna be fun. My first live stream is very generic, kind of hard to find in search. You could make it a little better by maybe saying Joy Rochelle's first live stream, gives it a little more depth. but still they have to know who you are. So the more interest you find from the audience you're trying to build, the easier and the more it can replay. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's a great question. Really appreciate it. I see I have a few live streams on YouTube and it seems like people aren't really watching them after the live is over. And that can happen too. But there's other value, as I mentioned. You can make shorts from that content. You can clip moments from it to make a full video. Who knows? It really can do wonders. From 3D Plastic Fantasy, question: when you unlist a video, does the CTR still count towards total average? It still shows there. YouTube, this comes from YouTube's, like, one of the head developers of the algorithm, Todd Beaupre. Any content that is unlisted or private does not count towards your total averages since they are no longer live. It still keeps it for that video if you want to, you know, do like ever put it back. But remember that it's not going towards your total average because you've taken it out of public play. So it's still counted in the back end, still recorded for you, not counting towards your average. I hope that helps. Do you think it's impressive for a really nice channel banner to start our channel and intro video? So one thing to keep in mind on channel banner and intro video is I tell people I steer clear of making a dedicated channel intro. It should be a video that if any new viewer finds your channel, it describes it. Dedicated intros aren't bad. However, they only really live for that purpose, whereas a general video you're proud of can be found in search, can help you grow. One thing to keep in mind, a nice channel banner helps those who go to your channel. Now, YouTube says only about 2 to 10% actually click through to go to a channel. So it's super helpful for those 2 to 10% because as you grow and scale, I've gotten about 90,000 views in the last 90 days from my channel page. So it absolutely matters. What I would say matters more is the content you're producing for the audience you want to build. So if your channel banner and intro really fit that perfectly, it really can make a difference. If it's just you smiling and it doesn't really show value to the audience, that's when it can cause some problems. And look, I've made that mistake too on some channels I've run, and learning how to make it more audience focused has really helped me get those views from my channel page up. So it can be helpful. I wouldn't invest all my time on it, but I wouldn't also not put focus on it, if that makes sense. Midnight Madness 4x4, great to see you. I've been working on live streaming channel. It's been working out pretty good. Happy to hear that. Is it in the 4x4 space? Or are you doing something else? I'm curious on that one. English Fun Zone, happy to see you. If you want to see one of the best use cases of, one, not only educational content, two, how to use the community tab effectively, English Fun Zone has been crushing it. I've been keeping up with you. I love the quizzes. I've answered a few on stream in the past. You are doing a great job with the community tab. I meant, do you think it's important? It is important. It's not going to be the end all move all. That tends to be the individual content. It is important, but it's not going to drive as much as new pieces of content. It's important for the super fans who make it there, who want to connect. But again, remember, that's going to be on average 2 to 10% of an audience. And it's not that 2 to 10% isn't important. I just would say that it's important. Don't put all your time on making it perfect and to the point where you're not making content. I've seen people spend so much time on their banner or that intro video that they, instead of making other videos, they are just making that. And it's so important that you not only get that out there, that you keep making content. So hopefully that makes sense. Thanks. Wonderful advice. Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here with us. Question: my name is English Fun Zone. So YouTube suggests kids videos. Is there a way to change trend suggestions? So suggestions are based mostly on your audience viewing behavior. So if they're also watching a lot of that content, that could be what is happening in that case. I would say the fun zone might make it skew closer to a kid's audience. I would say that I don't think it's bad. It just might be your audience and how YouTube sees it, or grouping it in that way, if that makes sense. Thank you. That's really good advice. Thank you, Ready Set Autism family. Thank you for the info. Says 3D Plastic Fantasy. Happy to help. Thanks. All right, let's go. Question: maybe cover some funding sources. Maybe for someone how people can tap into those, helping the costs from going hobby. and Ember Sky, maybe cover how you can fund the cost from going hobby professional full time. I think that's the question. Welcome, buddy. Happy to have you here. So if you're trying to go from, hobby to full time, here's some things I would tell you. Going from hobby to full time on YouTube is not that easy in terms of if you're just wanting to go full time. Like, hobby is when you're having a lot of fun. Full time in terms of if you want this to cover your life, if you want it to do more than that, it will take time. One thing I tell people is you need to find a subject, a topic that you are passionate about, that you can see yourself talking about for the next 5 years. I've seen so many people start channels on a topic they kind of like, but they're not sure they could see themselves through. If you want to go from hobby to full time, find a subject that you really are passionate about, that you could see yourself talking about it until you're blue in the face. That's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. 2, so many people rush into buying all the gear, all the lights. The best piece of gear you have is the stuff you have on you. A phone these days is a camera, it's a microphone. Heck, you can buy affordable lighting equipment for your phone now, all under $100. I'm talking mics, I'm talking lights. So just from your phone and $100, which is pretty low compared to what other professional setups, there are YouTube channels now dedicated completely on phone. I love MKBHD's autofocus channel because it's completely shot on a phone with just a microphone that he connects through Bluetooth to it. That is a great example of how your phone can make some content do really well. One thing I would say is gear is a additive to your story. Focus on good audio, focus on good video, and also sometimes forgotten, good lighting. Sun, great natural resource for lighting. All this lighting I have here makes a huge difference. It's the difference between this, if I were to, take out some of my lights that I have here, like this light changes the tone. It gives me a little more dimension. If I turn off all my lights, it does make a huge difference. I have this light behind me, which is actually pretty decently affordable from Small Rig. Like, there's a lot you can do when it comes to going from full time. One thing I would say is I still find a lot of value. Like, as you can see, gear helps, but I still sound good, right? And then as I turn my gear back on, you can see where it comes into play. But the most important thing, if you're trying to go from hobby to full time, is please make sure you can afford it financially, that you have either good affiliate revenue coming in on top of the YouTube AdSense. Maybe consider trying to reach out to getting some brand deals. I've seen so many creators try way too early to go full time on YouTube. They put all their eggs in the YouTube basket and they didn't have a long-term plan. I still have a normal 9-to-5 because I find a lot of value and security in that. I do really well on YouTube, but I find value in both. A lot of times, full time is a huge undertaking. It's not that I don't think you can do it. Just make sure you have multiple sources of revenue. You are prepared for the tax burden, because having this, it's multiple different sources of incomes. It's not a normal W-2 if you're based in the US. It's going to be unique. I would say it's not impossible, but have a good system in place. Have enough money to fund that lifestyle. You can do that by earning money on your YouTube videos, working a part-time job if you're a student. I was working part-time while I started YouTube, which led this to being a long career for me. And I've been blessed to be able to do this coming on 9 years professionally now. And so it is possible. However, it is a dedication thing. It takes hundreds of thousands of pieces of content, learning, experimenting. It's not impossible, but I don't want people to see the top % doing it. They drop everything to try it, and then they don't have a fallback plan. If you do, power to you, do it. If you don't, though, you got to look at it very responsibly. It's a huge, huge risk, but it could also have huge rewards. And I've been lucky enough personally where I've seen both sides of it. Hopefully that makes sense. Welcome from Kenya. Happy to have you here with us. I'll more than likely let you roast it one of these days. Maybe I'll do a channel review live stream. There's actually a new feature on YouTube I wanted to try out, and maybe that's it. So let me see. So YouTube always, one good thing about YouTube, and if you're trying to go full time, YouTube actually has a lot of content types that allows you to do that. Live streaming actually can be a really good way to help reach some of those watch time goals, which can help you go full time. So I'll do it to where if we get any super chat, I'll do a channel review live stream. One, I just want to check out the goals. And two, it just gives me a chance to try out new features on YouTube. So, all right, we put it there. The goal is set. So we can now see it there. But one thing to keep in mind is something I see here from Livestream Consultant. Topic and title and thumbnail affect the searchability of a live stream after the fact as a VOD, regardless of the length of the stream. Absolutely. And one thing to keep in mind is that shorts are actually, if you're doing vertical live stream shorts, it still applies to shorts too. That's a common mistake I see people make. They're like, I don't have to focus on SEO or any of that stuff in shorts. But you kind of do. YouTube is not as TikTok. I mean, you can not worry about it, but it's a huge lever that you could put into play. Like, it's one of those easy things you can do to help it not only do well in the shorts feed, but off platform. So please don't just think that, thumbnail, yes, is more still frame for shorts, but when it comes to topic and title, it's still important for shorts. Something to think about. So, to change the chat option while live from mobile, hit the cog at the top of your live chat, choose community moderation, and choose participation mode. Eileen Smith. There you go, from Chantel Hills. Now, is that through YouTube app, not YouTube Studio? Because there are technically 4 YouTube apps if you think about it. Not to be confusing at all. Hello there, Bill and Fix with Mooney. Happy to have you here. All my videos are from my iPhone. Just bought a microphone. Congratulations there, homekeeping channel, aka Susan. Coastal Diva, great to see you. Thank you for the holiday wishes recently. Really appreciate that. So, if you 3 with another channel like a smoking channel, do you get people that first? So, if you 3 with another channel like a smoking channel, do you get people in that first live stream? And what? I'm a little confused, Jaden, on what this question is, if I can get some clarification. From Joy, all my videos are filmed from my phone as well. I have a decent mic from Amazon that was only $25, and I got that mic much later after making lots of videos without one. Heard clear audio is important. Yes. If you're starting a YouTube channel, making any kind of videos on the internet, audio is so important. People can forgive bad video. They really can't forgive bad audio. We hear a video just as much as we see it. I can often, if a video may not be the best quality, but the audio is good, there's some background vocals, there's good, sound effects, good mixing, good Foley, we can forgive a lot of bad visuals. I mean, YouTube, some of the older YouTube videos are from 144p, but they had mics, and so they sound pretty decent. Some of them are pretty decently lit, which can help with that lower quality. However, audio is so important. Like, I can't stress that enough. So, yes, absolutely agree with you, Joy. Audio, clear audio is so important. Chantel, I just wanted to try out the feature. A low goal is still a goal. Smartphones starting from Xiaomi are starting at 200 to 250. I have a pretty decent camera for 1080p content. I agree. Xiaomi, I believe, is still banned here in the US, but this phone, like, there are some phones you can buy secondhand that have incredible cameras. Like the iPhone 6 had a 4K capable camera, and a lot of those videos still hold up. I've seen iPhone 6s used in productions, and I've been very surprised at how well they do. So a lot of the older phones that you can get for like $100 that you can still connect to like a Google Drive, you can still connect to the internet. Keep in mind, they don't have all the security patches. There are the negative benefits and downsides to doing that. Are still a lot of positives too. So just something to think about. Midnight Madness 4x4, thank you so much. Thanks for the live stream. Thank you so much for the super chat. And really interesting to see how the goals celebration works from the other end on YouTube. It's my first time really experimenting with that. So happy to see how it works. Interesting implementation from YouTube. Super chat goals are a new feature. So thank you so much, Midnight Madness 4x4. Chantel, that's a low goal. Like I said, I was just trying to see what happens. Low goals are still a good goal, but hey, that just means the goal for that was to get a channel review live stream. So you will get a channel review live stream in 2025. So happy to do that. I do love getting a chance to do that. This is more of a question and answer live stream, but it is cool to see. It does show it. Goal achieved. I definitely may or may not be selfishly doing this for a video. Hint, hint. If you know, you know. But yeah, just something to keep in mind, something that I'm, trying to do. But, one thing I would also say as we, keep in mind all the stuff that we're doing here, I wonder what happens if you set a goal. Reddy said autism family. Thanks, and no need to review for our channel. This is not a channel review live stream. We will be doing one later, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Interestingly, that the goal doesn't go beyond that. I thought maybe YouTube would count him up still. Huh. Well, at least we know now. Joy Rochelle, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you for joining the stream in general. Happy to have everyone here. We have some members. We have some new folks. I'm just happy to be live here. Let's celebrate with their first super chat on stream. Wow. That's incredible. Well, thank you. Thank you for being the first ever super chat that you've given. That's a huge honor. I greatly appreciate your questions. It's been a lot of fun just getting to chat. Jaden says, so if you do a live stream with another smoking show, did you get people in your first live stream and watch time? If you're doing a collaborative live stream, it depends what channel it's on. If it's a smoking show and that doesn't fit your audience, it's not necessarily helpful unless they really like who you are. It can help if the live stream's on your channel and that other channel might be more established and they bring an audience. Just focus on making sure it's the right audience. Having the right audience is more powerful than just having viewers. I can't stress that enough. Bill, they do sort of check out the new, do you mean the trends tab? Phone only here. Yes, the trends tab is still available on mobile phones. So it's in the same place, analytics, and then trends. YouTube has changed the name again. It at one point was the research tab, then it became the inspiration tab. Now it is the trends tab. So in case you don't know how to get there, the best way that you can get there is I'll share my screen. So you go to your analytics tab. You can do this on your smartphone. It works the same. Go to trends. It'll show you what you are familiar with. I love this. I actually have a dedicated video back when it was called the inspiration tab. I'll make sure to link that in the chat, but it is very helpful for how people can find your content. Cool, the goal thing worked. It did. Again, it's interesting it doesn't count past it, and it only seems to track, the first one. I'm so confused by that fact. Anyway, I would hope it'd do more. Goal says 1 out of 1, correct. Do I need to have a good mic to have a good channel? Technically, no. Arguably, a lot of people consider the mic in their phone not that good of a mic, but I've heard good sounding audio from phone mics. So technically, a lot of people would not consider that a good mic, but good audio can come from multiple sources. So no, you don't technically have to have a good mic to have a good channel. And honestly, the best mic is the one you have on you. So if the best mic you have and it's a good mic in terms of all you can do, that's more than fine. And also, a good channel is not just views. It can be the community you build. It can be a lot of factors. I know a lot of people hyper fixate on views. I've seen channels with 10,000 subscribers with maybe 500 views a video making more money than some channels with millions of views based on brand deals and affiliate sales alone. So what you consider a good channel is really up to you. If it is to build a career and make money on, and there are some channels that are crushing it that may not have the normal view metrics a lot like, but I've seen some really impressive brand deals from. I'll make sure it's ready for stream then. It won't stand a chance. Hey, that is not true. I think I'm a pretty fair grader. Goal says 1 out of 1. Thanks, Jaden. Happy to help. Again. Yeah, I hear you, Chantel. More aggressive. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the new inspiration tab. New inspiration tab really focuses on the AI of it all. Which, if you like AI, nothing wrong with. Hey, lumber lovers. Welcome, K&J Lumber. Happy to have you here. I'm reviewing a new mic for my next video. It was gifted to me, so now I have 3 wireless mics for a photography channel. Hey, audio, look, it's not going to help unless you're taking product photography for your photography, though I know that's not what you're doing. But good audio helps for other things. And another thing about a wireless mic that a lot of people don't consider as well is you don't need a mic like this. I've used a wireless mic. I've actually had one piece of my equipment die on me where it was not working. It was not doing what I needed it to do. And I used a wireless mic just connected directly to my webcam or connected it to my phone and streamed that way. Don't think that you have to have, like I said, all this gear. I'll show you one of my favorite new mics and new light. It's a new light I purchased recently from Amaranth, really affordable, and it goes right on your phone. And if you don't have an iPhone, I will tell you, you can still use it. 1 second. I will grab that now. In the meantime, let's take a look at the channel analytics. All right, I'm back. So I really was looking for something that was affordable that I could recommend if you need to do some lighting content on your phone. This little light from Amaranth, which is the Amaranth Go, has actually been really good for me. This is not sponsored. I do like Amaranth products. A lot of my lights here are that, but I have an Elgato light. I have an Amaranth light. My main light's a Godox light. That light that's giving you this little, I'll give you some inside information. That's not real. That's a light. I like this because it has 2 modes, a selfie mode. So like there's a switch on here. If I want to see myself from that back camera, I can actually do that. Say hello chat. Maybe I can get it to work to where you can see the other camera. Cam reception. There we go. Cam reception. But I really like this little light. You know, one thing to keep in mind is like this light helps me do better product shots. If you're filming yourself for shorts or doing a vertical live stream, it has an adapter, so where if you don't have a magnet on your phone, like you can just put it in the back of your case. You can apply it as an adhesive. Like I really like lights like this, and the fact that they're so affordable too. Like this is the metal adapter I was telling you about. That's like one of those things where lighting is so affordable now, and mics are getting more and more affordable, and they work with apps and they work with other things, and the barrier to entry on gear is getting cheaper and cheaper. And just because something is affordable doesn't mean it's cheap, and just because something's cheap doesn't mean it's going to last long term. That's why reviews are helpful. That's why trusting and looking for people that can talk about these things, super important. But I liked it because for me, I have an iPhone for mostly the video capabilities. I love the MagSafe ability of it, and I like how if I want to do let's say I want to do a vertical live stream, turn that on, it's actually pretty good. In fact, I turn off my main light. Of course, it would help if I charged it, wouldn't it? But don't worry. I have put it on here. You know, this isn't matching exactly right, but it goes to show, right? So it's something. It looks better on a phone than compared to all this, but light is a light. Turn that off. Have it charging while we go. Hopefully that makes sense. Good to see you, Stanley Orchard. Happy to have you here. See from Joy. I have no idea how to use Super Chat, but just used to see what happened. LOL, thanks for the live stream. No, thank you for joining. You can also connect a wireless mic to your audio interface too. Yes, if you have one. I actually like the DJI mics. They have built-in Bluetooth. I've used a DJI mic and this little light together. Again, both of those with a phone came in at like, I got it on sale, so keep in mind 69 plus the like 25 I spent on that. Under 100 with my phone, gave me good audio, gave me good lighting for a phone, and you can be quite impressed what you can do. Lumix camera for the win. I am using my Panasonic G7. I bought this camera in 2016 and been using it to death since. I did my first vertical live. Murphy's Law was present, but I made it 39 minutes in. Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. But hey, something to do. It's definitely a light, LOL. Yes, I also could make it a lot brighter, but it was dying. So that's more on me for not checking my camera gear. Didn't expect to use it live. English Fun Zone has the grin out. Let me know, what questions do you have? It seems like the ratio for subscribers versus viewers, about 20% of the amount of subscribers you have will be your viewer amount. Obviously not exact, but just an estimate. Actually, YouTube says on average, and this is an interesting stat that I share with people because a lot of people think, oh, my subscribers are going to watch everything. Probably not. And this comes from YouTube themselves. It's one of those things I show people so they can have a realistic, kind of idea. But on average, a notification click-through rate on YouTube is from 0.5 to 2.5%. You can see that here. So out of the 99% of the bell notifications that was sent on this video, your average notification, typical on YouTube, is 0.5 to 2.5% of your subscribers with bells on will click through. I have 0.3, so I'm actually lower on this video, but I've had it be higher, I've had it be lower. Really depends the content. This was a different kind of video for me. Did well. It's 1,000 views now, but it goes to show, right? Like, you got to remember that when it comes to ratios, it's not a bad thing to have a lot of your viewers come from non-subscribers, because that means you could potentially over time win them over as a subscriber. But 20% is actually really high. I say all that just to give some context. If you're starting YouTube, if you get 20%, that's incredible. On average, it's going to be 0.5 to 2.5%. Now, my bell notifications are lower because this channel, while I started posting more actively about 5 years ago, this channel is from 2013. This was before the notification bell ring, things like that. If you're starting a brand new channel, it is the absolute best time to start a new channel. There are more features free from YouTube. There are more things to help you earn money than ever. It is the best time to start a YouTube channel. The last best time was yesterday. The second best time is today. Please start your YouTube channel. You have more features than I ever did when starting. Tech Fairy, shout outs. Good to see you from the Discord. Awesome to see you here. Happy to see you. Ember Sky, it was until my saw broke. Gosh, I'm so sorry, but I'm happy you were able to get a live stream in. Another reason why YouTube blocking features behind some numbers is that is also a thing. For YouTube shopping right now, it's 10,000 subscribers. I go back and forth. YouTube says subscribers don't matter until they do. And unfortunately, that is one of those instances. There are some times where subscriptions absolutely matter, only in terms of unlocking features, getting broader things. Hopefully, look, YouTube has been refining it. Like the fact they lowered monetization, the eligibility from 1,000 to 5,000 or 500, not 5,000, is huge. I think there's a lot that they're making in the right direction. So it's never going to be 100% how we want it, but I'll take the 80% we're at compared to where we were 10 years ago any day. That's not good, but you have a video on how to fix yourself. Look, that's the glass is half full here with Ember Sky. I fully love that idea. Actually, that's a great idea. I love that we can now multi-stream. Yeah, we can. Although with some third parties, you could do that already. Ooh, we have a question come in. Congratulations, Micah. Good afternoon. I reached 233 subscribers. That's huge. You've been keeping at it. I've seen you in multiple streams now. I love seeing wins like that. Congratulations. From Joy, I also heard this is the best time on YouTube to be a small channel. Is that just because of the features? No, it's not just because of the features. YouTube now is way better in terms of a total platform than it even was years ago. YouTube has built out features, which does help, but they're always refining. There's new things that can help a new channel. With shorts going longer, they're experimenting with shorts. Shorts are a great way for a new channel to start getting views, getting comments, learning, experimenting, and not feeling discouraged compared to long form. I can't tell you how many people I've seen make really quality long form content, but they didn't understand some of those principles and it didn't do well and they gave up. YouTube takes consistency of content, quality, and community. Gosh, I can't stress. Community is the most important relationship you build. I am grateful for every single one of you watching live or in the replay, or hey, maybe even a short, who knows. But it's not only the features, it's the community on YouTube, it's the knowledge that's on YouTube, and it's just the maturity of this platform. So much good has happened over the last few years in terms of platform. So yes, there's a lot of great features that make it easier than ever, but gear's more affordable. People are more understanding of what it means to be a YouTube content creator or a content creator in general. So yes, it is cool that, the platform features make it easier, but it's just more acceptable. There's more resources and the community is thriving. And truthfully, if we look at like what's happening possibly to TikTok, where it might go down here in the US, all those factors set it up for success. YouTube has its problems. I will be one of the biggest people to call it out, and I have. But YouTube also is a great place and is even better now than when I started to make content too. Hopefully that helps. Like back in the day, we didn't have click-through rate. We were flying blind on a lot of that. We didn't have A/B testing. Like monetization, when I actually first started, you had to join an MCN. You couldn't do it directly with YouTube. We are so much better now. I hope that helps. Give some context. They lowered monetization. Yeah, so instead of, it's not full monetization, but it's partial. With 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time, you can do super chats. You can do some other ways to earn money. It's not the same as full monetization, but it's a little bit easier. And hey, if you're live streaming or you're doing the different ways to earn, it can make all the difference. They need to bring back video replies. I remember in the old days where you can go 12. I would say I like the idea of video replies. I think shorts replies, in a way, for a creator is a way to do this. The main thing with video replies is I think like YouTube's matured enough to where you can reply in a video itself. Doesn't need to necessarily be under a video. And with how good the suggestion system is, you could argue that you still can do reply videos, but it's not true where it's right under the video. I think the problem with having replies under the videos is that it caused a lot of not safe for work stuff that caused monetization problems early on. While it's a cool idea, I think that if anything could potentially harm monetization as we've lived through apocalypses now, probably better that we don't have it. It's a good idea. I just don't think we have the right kind of infrastructure as a platform to make sure that all replies are, one, quality, two, not just clickbaity, and three, gonna cause big harm, which it can absolutely happen. Not so much lowered. Yes, added a new tier to access 500 and 3,000. You get fan funding and memberships, and it's big. And yes, that is good to know from Chantal. YouTube said they're actively pushing new and smaller creators, which does help as long as you have good content for the viewers. And yes, they always are. Like, one thing people say is YouTube doesn't promote my content. YouTube promotes your content. You got to remember YouTube's point of view. The YouTube Help Center has so much free stuff that you can watch, view, you can do all this research beforehand. From YouTube's mind, and this, look, I think I agree with it and don't agree with it. There's a lot of resources that you can do before going. I often say you don't build a house without a blueprint. From YouTube's point of view, so they put out so many helpful articles, they have videos, they have channels, etc., that can help you be ready for your first video. Reality is, a lot of times people just post randomly. Sometimes they have big success and it blows up and they're not really ready. Sometimes they plan the wrong way, which can happen. I would say that from my point of view, if you're ready to start on YouTube, understand it's a long journey. It is a marathon. I've seen channels that have, quote, blown up overnight who've been posting 18 years consistently. Like, some channels that I've seen that were like not that big back in the day have really posted like well. Like, we have channels that are older that were posting videos online before YouTube. Like, YouTube's turning 20 this upcoming year, which is kind of why I focused on 20. Channels have ebbs and flows. And for 20 years is pretty new as a platform. Speaking of 20, shout outs to the 20 viewers watching live and the 20 plus more watching the replay. But I bring this all up to say that YouTube is a platform that does help smaller creators and can help established channels too. You just got to read the charts, read what's working. If you don't like how your channel's currently performing or you've shifted your view, making a new channel might be that right fit, but it doesn't mean you have to get rid of the old channel too. Just means that it is a good time, whether you're new or established, just to experiment. Thank you so much, Reddy said Autism Family. I really do appreciate it. It says, remember to crush the like for Andrew's live stream. Really appreciate that. I like that you're testing out audio replies. Still not foolproof, but a good addition. Agree. I actually think audio replies are smart. I do think in my like thinking bigger head, I wonder if they're doing that also. One, anything we do, I know YouTube's like gave us the AI checklist for using audio replies. My only fear, why do they want audio replies, right? Is it to test multi-language dubbing? Potentially. Like, it, yes and no. I'm also think it's a cool idea. I like shorts replies a little bit more than audio replies. I'm glad we'll have the option of both. I just am always cautiously skeptical. Joyce says, I agree with the YouTube Shorts aspect. I have over 400 shorts, which helped a lot. But thanks for the points you made in terms of platform, community, being a creator. Happy to help. Look, I've been doing YouTube now. I've been on YouTube since 2006, but I've been doing YouTube myself since about 2012, really. That's when I started my journey with an MCN back in the day that led me to TubeBuddy. Now I'm here on my own, thriving. I have a Discord community, which if you're interested in, we have a link in the description. Like, we have membership. Like, I'm very happy with my journey on YouTube. It's been slow and steady and at the pace I'm comfortable with. There's a lot I could have done to make this growth faster. I've done it at TubeBuddy. I've done it for other brands, but there's something you lose the larger you get. And I'm very proud of where we are right now. And if you're watching live, I appreciate your time because you could have been anywhere, but you're spending it here. If you're watching the replay, same goes to you. So that's a lot of value. 400 is a ton of shorts. Well, no, it's not 2,000 pounds of shorts yet. Just kidding. It's a very dumb joke. Slowly reaches for the tinfoil. Look, you know, all I'm saying is when something is free, we are the product. Motive Music Studio says, fun to be here as I do some organization in my recording space. That is awesome. Hopefully your space is going. Love the name Motif Music Studios, by the way. Like, musical motifs, underrated, especially in musical format. It's when a reoccurring, and please keep me honest, Motif Music. It's when a reoccurring sound kind of comes through in the music. Like, it could be established in one song if it's in a musical context and it comes back. In an album, you could maybe have it in an earlier song and it comes back in like an overall thing. Motifs are really cool. Also could be literary. I know we have English Fun Zone. I think different motifs could come up in English in general as well. I would love to have the channel member. I would have to say the channel membership here is amazing. Well, thank you, Chantel. Chantel, you are an incredible part of our community. Really do appreciate it. Yes, you are totally on track and so well explained. Thank you, Motif Music Studios. I played musical instrument for 7 years, and I sing very often in the shower. Not to say that I'm any good, but I do have a very big appreciation of musicals and music in general. Now, my question to you watching is, as we are always thinking about content types and thinking of the different ways that YouTube is growing, what are you most excited about when it comes to YouTube? What is getting you excited to create? What is that thing? For me, it's been a combination of my membership, my videos, the live streams. I've loved doing it all. And getting to experiment with shorts, not only using them from replays, but also creating brand new shorts. Like, this light, I'm probably going to make a short on because I don't really have enough to say on a full video, but I love having the option of a piece of content like that, and I can lead it to other pieces. So I'm just curious, what are you excited about on YouTube? What do you recommend to do as far as getting the 4K watch hours at first? Example, uploading every day, 15 to 20 minutes, live streams, etc. All right. If you're going for 4K watch hours on YouTube, YouTube Shorts do not count currently. They could change that in the future. Live streams are a huge help if you have an established audience. If you're just going live for the first time, you don't really have an established audience, you're not sure what you're doing, watch some SEO videos. Get familiar with what YouTube videos and live streams need. Creating consistent content, not necessarily daily. The reason I say daily sometimes can be a hindrance is YouTube uses your last video to project the future videos you post. I'd maybe post every other day. So once every 48 hours is what I'd recommend if you're really just starting. I'd recommend looking at the YouTube help articles, really diving deep into what YouTube recommends. Because again, from YouTube's point of view, they're giving you the playbook. It is completely up to us to read it. It is very long, not always a very interesting page turner, but it is there for free, which is more than I can say on some other platforms. So what I would say, if you're trying to reach 4K watch hours, live streams can be a huge help if they're targeted, if they're specific to audiences. 2, normal videos at a consistent pace of 1 every 48 hours, but you're looking at the analytics, you're going deep, looking at why people maybe leave the video, what part, how is the audio. When you're first posting those first 100 videos, they're gonna be a little rough, but that's okay. What they are is a chance for you to grow, a chance for you to get better. You gotta give yourself grace. It takes greats 10,000 hours minimum to be great. If you posted 4 videos and quit, you never knew because you quit too early. It's gonna take 100 minimum. If you've done 100 shorts, that can count. Learn from those 100 shorts. Go back, go deep. What ones hit, which ones didn't? That's the key. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that would set. So if you're trying to do it, 15 to 20 minute videos, if people are watching, that's good. If they're not, look at it. From Joy, thanks. Work on those shorts, and yet it feels like the beginning. Hey, every journey. What instrument? Now that is the question. What instrument do you think? What marching band instrument do I give, chat? That is the question. Views and the community is what Skatha is most excited for. Could not agree more. I love building community and staying on my toes. As a creative, YouTube totally gives me that opportunity. Love it. Our goal has always been making the world more aware of autism and inspiring families to get out of their homes and enjoy the world. Incredible, incredible value. An incredible journey of what you're trying to do. More power to you. Ready, set, long videos and live streams. I mean, you're not wrong. I'd be excited if YouTube would have a calendar tab to show viewers what videos are up and coming. Interesting they don't. I mean, I guess they kind of do because you can like set notifications, but I think a calendar, I mean, Google Calendar is already owned by YouTube Google. So, I mean, they absolutely could. Perhaps there's a reason they're not. I'm excited about impacting people and helping them create. Being in yarn crafting or YouTube live streams, helping other people win is my happy place. Cheers to that. I love talking about content creation. My platform of choice is YouTube, but what I'm talking about can go not only on YouTube but beyond. Question: Hi, do you know why YouTube does not allow a new creator to post a short video without? I treat posting 2 long form videos and a message would pop up. I've not seen that personally. I've seen creators come over and just post YouTube shorts. So I'm not super familiar with this homekeeping channel. So what I will say is let me do some research into this. Maybe someone in the chat knows more than I hear. I don't know the answer to this at this moment, but let me find it for you. Ember Sky Media, I'm excited as I just love creating and taking on challenges. Here. Yes, YouTube takes crazy perseverance, but so many growth. Yes, right mindset motif, music serious, trumpet. Interesting, so interesting. Sousaphone. These are people guessing what instrument I played. Sousaphone so far, closest. Question, Andrew. I missed the mark on my one-time video telling my DIY story, honoring my mom at the same time. Any suggestions? I missed the mark on my one-time video telling my DIY story, honoring my mom at the same time. Any suggestions? I've tried so many tweaks. I would say, I made a video. I called it Lori's Legacy. It is about my mother, and it is something that you're your mother's legacy. And I would say you only miss the mark because you're making one video. Every time is an opportunity to talk about that and to live through with it. I would say that, any anniversary, anything that inspires you while you're DIYing that reminds you of your mom, that's a chance to talk about it. It gives your audience a chance to go deeper with you. I would say that if you feel like you've missed the mark, keep working at it. Same way you would keep doing your DIYs, keep working on it. And it's a forever journey. And while I'm proud of that film, I still have a lot to honor my mom to do. And I'd say the same to you. So I would say if you feel like you missed the mark on the first attempt, or maybe multiple, keep trying and figure out what you want to say to impose to your viewers. For my film, it was to remind people that everyone's a legacy. Make yours one day at a time, one video at a time. This is true. So I would say that you can learn from the existing videos, look at the analytics, look at the retention. Also, look at how you feel about it. Talk to people, ask questions. It can help you grow a lot. Excited about using livestream more and figuring that out, creating more long forms, and learning from other creators community as well. That is great. K&J said, I know someone who is so scared to post. They had a channel 3+ years with only a handful of videos. Perfectionism. I understand perfectionism. I've had to deal with this with some friends, with other creatives, and that good is better than perfect and published is better than never. And for me, I would say that it's only perfect if it's published. If you never publish, it'll never be perfect. I rather a video be 90% good enough and the information's there and it's all solid and all well and published than never published, but it's 100%. Because at that point, I'm not doing what I need to do as a creator, as a YouTuber. There's a lot I do that I never publish, and it's just for me. And that's fine. And if that's what you want to do, that more power to you. But you can't not post and then say you want to be a creator. It's kind of it's one of those weird things where it's like you got to do both. So my thing is perfectionism. It can absolutely help. And you absolutely should try to perfect one small thing every video. That's what I aim to do. Like this light here, I got comments that, why is that so dark behind you? I keep bringing it up because I finally figured it out. But it's one of those things. Question, continuing, asking me to post videos to show proof. Oh, interesting. So I guess their logic is if it failed the verification ID, that you might be a bot or you might be using AI. These are just assumptions at this point. This is not gospel. It might be that, but I did not know that you failed verification ID, that you have to post some long form. Interesting. I've not heard of that. In the house, nice to see you here, Chantel Hills. I'm not a huge fan of calendars, rather be surprised. And as a viewer, there are some that, that is their thing. That's interesting. I've never heard of that homekeeping channel. Do impressions on your shop have any effect on YouTube analytics? I just started a merch shop and I've seen impressions on it. Not really. It's just YouTube looks at it as a way, it'll affect how broadly they recommend your shop, but YouTube's just trying to figure out what works sale-wise for them and your shop. Not so much gonna hurt your shop or hurt your channel. More so they want to make money. So if they find out what works and you find out what works, it's more of a win-win. So they're mostly trying to figure out what's best for the platform and you. So impressions do have an effect on your analytics in terms of how YouTube will recommend items and gear and things like that, but not on your overall channel performance. Hopefully that makes sense. Kazoo. We did not have kazoo in our marching band, unfortunately. Tuba. Euphonium. All right, I'll give it to you. I was a trombone player. Specifically in symphonic winds, I was a bass trombone player. So now you know. Although tuba and euphonium, really close. Drums. Fair enough. But most likely you were either baritone or trombone. You did get it eventually. I was trombone. Question. Would you recommend using the Trends tab? Yes, I do. Absolutely use it. If yes, and how to use it effectively. It keeps recommending these same ideas. Trends tab is basically an SEO-based tool. You can do your own research. Some of the ideas it's going to recommend are based on your audience interest or general possibilities. I will go ahead in chat and link the video I did all about SEO and how to use that tab. It is that important. At the time, the only thing I would say in this video is that at the time of the video, it was called the inspiration tab. It's come through a lot. I love the trends tab. I'm glad they're keeping it, not just going with the inspiration tab. What I would tell you is the best way to use the trends tab is to save ideas that you could do later. I have 120. You can see I use this. This also helps, you can see some of the ones that have become ideas. What do you need to be a YouTuber? YouTube thumbnail full course, audience retention, content strategy. These are all things I could talk about in this stream if I had no one coming and I just wanted to do it. YouTube keyword research. These are all things my audience has heavily searched for over the years. and things I can easily make videos on. So yes, use the trends tab. Find that balance between what you want to make and what people want to watch. I also have another video that kind of covers it. Some of these I'm like, yes, some of these I'm like, no. So what people are looking for. I could talk about how to become a great content creator. I feel confident. YouTube analytics, full tutorial. This might be a great live stream. I'm saving them. How to see, like, this is a very simple one. How to see analytics on YouTube. You know, so yes, I like the trends tab. It is helpful. It is one of the easiest ways to see what your audience is interested in. So yes, please try out the trends tab. Maybe not, but it's odd that it shows impressions rate. That's just, impressions are just YouTube showing that they've shown off something. So an impression means a viewer has seen it for at least a second. So if you have your shop under your live stream, under your videos, like I believe, I don't have it under here. I guess I could edit it in the back end and I could show a piece of like merch or something, but that would technically count as an impression to the shop, right? Like, if I add a product like a mug or something, like that in theory counts as a shop impression, right? So it really depends how you're going to be using it, right? But you can do some stuff like I could tag some of my merch. It'll count as an impression towards the shop that you have. So that makes sense to me. Chantel is type of marching tuba, usually in drum and yes, I really do like DCI, Drum Corps International. Shout outs to my other marching band kids if you made it this far. I perfect things by filming with fast glass and blur the backgrounds. I appreciate the honesty on this one. Ever Sky Media, I have been there. Okay, thanks. LOL Kazoo. Yeah. Trombone, so fun. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. You know, there's a lot you can do with it. What is your current full-time job nowadays? NDAs, folks. It's a fun thing. My full-time job is partially being a creator here on YouTube, partially being a good boyfriend, being a good friend, being a good community person for our Discord. So my full-time job is that I can talk about is doing my best to be better than who I was years ago, yesterday, and trying to find new ways to keep growing. That is what I can talk about. You need to create content to get your channel history if you can't use ID for verification to get access to standard and intermediate features. I just have not seen someone fail it, I guess, so that's good to know. And thank you, Chantel, for providing more information. Again, going back to how good YouTube has become in terms of giving resources. When I started, you prayed on the Google Help forums that someone would reply and that they kind of knew what they were talking about or that they were trusted by YouTube. I've been around since the Google Plus days, folks. It's been a while. Oh, I was accepted, got my own creator code for Ubisoft Store. Wow, genuinely, that's good for you. NDA, yes, a non-disclosure agreement. Sometimes you can't even say that. So I always say Nevada Desert Association. But, you know, I will say that in my time on YouTube, whether it's been me in front of the camera creating, me just using audio doing gaming, me on TubeBuddy, I've been very, very fortunate to have such a great career, have this community I've been able to build with all of you, and I don't take it for granted for a second. And I hope you know that I think about any piece of content I do, I try to think about, one, am I excited to make this piece? Because that I often feel when I talk about SEO, people lose is you gotta like what you're doing too. If you're doing it because it's successful but you don't love it, that can make you hate it through time. I've been lucky at what I make. I genuinely have interest in love and could talk about indefinitely. So that's also super important. I've been signing at least 40 of those NDAs. RL work and YouTube related. Yep, that can happen. But yes, I am, live streaming consultants. I've seen you in other chats. I'm very, very gracious that you've come and joined me here. I need to check out your own live streams one of these days when I have the time, balancing, our own lives and things, but you know, just something that I wanted to say thank you. Another question from Joy. How long did it take you to build this channel you have here? Did I miss that? No. How long did it take me to build this channel? I guess it's a hard thing to answer because I'm still building it. But how long did it take me to build it to where I was proud of it to go full time? I would say probably a year and a half to 2 years. If I'm being honest with myself, it took about a year and a half to 2 years to really figure out my style, to kind of get away from what people knew me for at TubeBuddy and do something that was more my own, find ways I can experiment and, you know, build my own things. So I would say a year and a half to 2 years is when I finally felt really proud of this channel, enough to go full time as my main channel and enough to start feeling confident enough to offer group coaching, to really offer more than I was and to put more effort than I was doing. So I hope that helps. 2 years, that's quick. In fairness to me, if you're brand new and you didn't know, I was TubeBuddy, which is a browser extension that helps you grow and optimize your YouTube channel. That's actually what that silver play button, if I can point, that silver play button above me is from. I helped them grow their YouTube channel from 6,000 to over 500,000 subscribers. I was their first ever outside hire. So I've done this professionally now for almost 10 years. Makes me feel old, but I just turned 30. So I think for me, 2 years took years in the background for me to be where I feel confident in this one and have my own voice on it and do my own thing. That doesn't mean that you can't do it faster. In fact, if I do what I want to do right, you'll do it faster than me. You'll do it quicker because that's what I want to share. Not only on YouTube, but creating content and just doing all of it. Like, it's fun. It is a great journey. Yeah, I know TubeBuddy. Oh my God, you did? That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because we've hit a point where they're like, I've been gone from TubeBuddy now. It's coming on 4 years here. But I was there for 5.5. 30? I can't tell if that's a good or bad 30. I just turned 30, makes me feel old. Wow, now I feel old. Just turned 40. I know the feeling. LOL, enjoyed every second of those 30s. Great minds think alike. Remembering that people gain skills for YouTube outside of their own personal channels. Absolutely. I think that is also a huge thing I've seen is like, it's funny because sometimes when like largely established channels, like they'll have 10 million on their main channel, they'll try a new channel and like maybe it has 7,000 subscribers and people will give them crap like, oh, you clearly don't know YouTube. And I'm like, no, you don't know YouTube. I've seen massively successful creators just try a new channel and people will dog on them on that new channel for not even knowing how to quote do YouTube, and their main channel is bigger than anything that I've ever been able to do, or they will probably most likely be able to do. It's all perspective. It's all these different things. One of the things that I do is every year I try to find a word of focus that helps me be a better person, a better creator. In 2023, that word was perspective. Here in 2024, that word was gratitude, mostly because I firmly have learned that being more gracious, having more gratitude can really change that attitude of yours and other people. It's something I've actively worked on and will continue to work on for both of those things, perspective, gratitude. So in many ways, that to Chantel's point, you know, we will gain skills outside of YouTube and our personal channels that we can also bring right back to it. 33 backwards here. There you go. Yes, that's so big too. Looking very close at 50. You never solve that numeric puzzle. You really don't. LOL. I've had that on my tiny channels when I'm testing things and I'm like, well, if you add up my subscribers over all my channels, sir, it's a big number. Absolutely. We used to have random small channels act like they were buddies, ask a bunch of YouTube questions, and as soon as they passed our subscriber count, we were treated like we didn't know anything. That can happen. Again, what I would say is Friend is a word that I find can be often overused. Buddies is like not as seriously as friend. I actually learned this from my co-founder of the Can Do creator community, which is, if you are unaware, the merch or the mug I'm wearing is our Discord community. And my co-founder Ike, they use friend very sparingly. And when I first met them, I thought that was very interesting. But as I've grown, I've known Ike now, my God, 8 years, going on 9. I've learned there's a lot of, like, it's okay that not everyone's your friend. Some people are just acquaintances. Some people, you meet for a moment in your life, and that's what the moment was for. It's about learning that friend does have deeper meaning. I'm very lucky that I do have friends watching and that I've gotten to hang out with in real life outside of YouTube. And I often joke, if you can't reach me personally, you don't know me well enough to have an issue with me. And that has helped me a lot. I got a comment maybe a week or two ago. Oh, this guy knows nothing about YouTube. Maybe you should watch some TubeBuddy videos to learn. Which was the biggest irony to me. And then when I linked him a video I made for TubeBuddy, he's like, wait, you're the same guy? And I'm like, well, yeah. So again, I try to give people some grace. I try to give people benefit of the doubt. And I got to remember, if you don't know me well enough where you can't reach out to me, you don't know me well enough to really have a problem with me. And that's helped me a lot. That's been that perspective I've talked about. I learned the difference between friend, buddy, and guy from South Park's Canada episode. You gotta blame Canada, according to South Park. You can share a circle with someone without being their friend. Absolutely. I use it very sparingly. My friends know I have their back, and they have mine. Stanley Orchard, good to see you. I think I can call Stanley a friend. I know he doesn't call me a friend. Stanley says, he's that one guy I know, but, I try not to use friends sparingly. But I will also say that, one thing I wanted to answer is, what do you think will be the most important thing for YouTube in 2025? I was asked this recently. What am I most excited about? What do I think is going to be super important in 2025 and beyond? And I do think it's going to be, as YouTube gets smarter and smarter at understanding what audience is like, it's not only keeping up with audience expectation, but being a conversation starter for your audience. Sometimes I like to study other YouTube channels so that I can bring it here. There are a lot of times where other channels have that same idea, where they see one channel do something, but they keep it specific to their niche. A great example is what's in my camera bag, what's in my tech bag, what's in my makeup bag, all come from the same idea. What's in my object specific bag? My thing is not only meeting your audience expectation in 2025 and beyond, but also finding ways that you can start conversations that others have too. That's the beauty of YouTube long term. Stanley says, I call you a friend whether you like it or not. #for life. Fair enough, Stanley. Fair enough. I get burned thinking someone is a friend only to realize they don't have the same definition of friend as I do. And that's perspective, right? Chantel, unfortunately, I do consider you a friend, so I hope we have the same definition. We've hung out outside of YouTube. We've hung out for a long time, so you're kind of stuck. An okay friend will help you move. A great friend will help you move move a what? The anticipation. Yep, and why I use it sparingly. And again, I learned that from Ike, who is a good friend, and Ike has officially said we're friends, so I can say that. But I have definitely used the word friend a little too loosely and have learned from that. It's all about perspective. Sawmill. A friend will help you move a sawmill. I think we have the same definition. Very fair. Another thing to keep in mind, if you're starting on YouTube, a lot of other creators are not necessarily your competition. Your audience will decide who they want to watch. There's a lot more power in working together than against one another. YouTube is a beautiful place for cross-community pollination, for lots of chance for collaboration. I love working with other creators. In fact, for me, I want to do more of that as we keep going and keep growing this channel. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of tools I gotten to work with and given back to my audience, but I want to work with other creatives. I love hearing other takes. I think there's so much you can learn from other people. And yes, I'm not able to work with every single person in the world, but I'm trying to find the right people that fit what I'm trying to do here on YouTube. And I encourage and empower every single one watching that you do that same thing. I didn't think you were going to say body. What I did think, I thought you were going to say lumber, but sawmill I feel is close. I love working with creators, says Chantel. So do I. And that's why I think that's what makes it all worth it. CJ Enda, happy to see you. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I often say people don't know where you're coming from. People don't really know your struggle. But what you can do, what you can control, that's what you should try to focus on. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters, right? Like, I could sit here and wonder and worry about others, or I can worry about what I can control, which is myself. And if I do that right, then that's what makes me happy. Now, I know that, like, when it comes to YouTube in general, that people usually think a little broader when it comes to what success is. My question for you watching is, what do you consider a success on your YouTube channel or on YouTube in general? Because everyone's definition is different. Susan, thank you so much for joining us. Happy to have you as always. And if you are not aware, if you ever need help cleaning your home, if you want some travel tips, because Susan's working on a channel, please check out Susan, incredible creator. Thank you, Susan. But, I finally figured out what I wanted to show off. So we had this conversation earlier in chat about the store. So I think if I'm doing this correctly, like when I tag a product like this, YouTube will now have that in or under somewhere on the stream. They said they would. So if I pin the product, I think it shows up in stream now. And the reason I flag this is what would count as an impression. So you're seeing me test live. I'm going to unpin now because it's not the point of the stream. But that's kind of what YouTube talks about when they mention things like that. So yeah, 22 watching now. From Joy, this is such a beautiful conversation. Friends, associates, collaboration, clarity on friends, not looking at other creators as competition, the comments from others, etc. Preach. That's what we try to do here. We try to have those good moments. When I upload the live old pre-recorded, it shows the technical difficulties problem. I might have to check that out, but is it not? How are you recording your live streams, or your pre-record would be my question. So current viewers need to refresh when you add it in pins like that. That's where I get where YouTube's coming from with it. I kind of wish it was a little quicker. I've seen it faster, ironically, in vertical live streaming than I have in traditional horizontal streaming like this. That's actually something I want to try more of, and kind of why I bought some of that gear is I want to do some more live streaming on my phone. And so that's kind of why I bought that light I mentioned, why I'm doing more. So something I want to try a little bit more of. Too long lives? That could be a reason for technical difficulties. Absolutely. Absolutely could be a reason. I believe they've changed it. It used to be you could have 24 hours. I think it's now 12-hour live stream limit. I believe after 12, yeah, it's if your live stream is less than 12 hours, YouTube can automatically archive it for you. This applies to all types of live streams. And I also think they shortened the max video amount too, for the same reason, max YouTube video amount, because people were uploading a lot, like kind of crazy amounts. Like they still kept those videos. Yeah, like the maximum file upload size according to YouTube is 12 hours. But I've seen some people, like back in the day, they were posting and like going and going. Yeah, so if you want the replay, you can technically, I think, live stream much longer than that. But if you're just posting a normal YouTube video, the max file size 256 gigs and the max amount of upload size is 12 hours. So That comes directly from YouTube themselves here. So yeah, so as you can see, maximum, here, let me make this a bit bigger. Let's get the magnifier. Oh my God, that's big. Maximum upload size 25 is 256 gigs or 12 hours. So the more you know. Gotta fix my tube spanner. Didn't realize I made it that big. Woo, that's a big glass, man. Should be better now. Okay, much better. That was on me than the app itself. Gonna go ahead though. Keep those questions coming. And if you've been enjoying the stream, or you've been enjoying the replay, you've had a question, maybe I put in a shorts reply, let me know. Always happy. Here's a question though, and I got this one very recently, is when should I start monetizing my content on YouTube? I would argue you should start monetizing when, one, you are comfortable with the idea of doing it, two, as soon as possible. You may not be eligible for YouTube monetization, but there are things such as affiliate programs. There are things such as, if you have eligibility, super chats, super thanks, super stickers. Find ways that you can give back to your community and your audience. I think affiliate links anyone can do within reason and within legal right. You got to disclose them. You got to follow the law. But I would say you should start monetizing as soon as, one, you feel comfortable, and then after that, as soon as possible. We have a full list of affiliate programs, over 100. It's really helpful resource I'll have in the chat for like just ways that you can start, you know, getting into some of the affiliate programs and start earning money. One of the biggest mistakes I see creators make is waiting for that. So yeah. So yeah, that's one thing I'd say. Maximum video amount change depending on your access. Oh yes, that does too. I got that from my Ultra HD and UHDT and BTOM live pre-recorded, and I changed the date and time. Interesting. Maximum video amount changes depending on your access. Yes, and if you have verified your account, go to youtube.com/verify. Not the same thing as the verification badge. Something to call out. Those people that just do silent lives for watch hours, I've not actually seen many of those, but I guess that's something they could try. LOL, never heard of this. What in the? Yeah, it can be a thing. YouTube gonna show ads anyway. Yeah, that's true. If you don't have access to supers, you can add buy me a coffee. Yes, exactly. There are also like PayPal me, though that might be a little too personal. Find a thing that works for you. I will say, any favor for favor is against YouTube terms of service. Do not do sub for sub, like for like, etc. That is against terms of service and will get you instantly banned from our community because we follow those YouTube rules here. Motif Music says, I need to really think through my monetization strategy for 2025. I do have incredible students that come my way through the channel, which is lovely, but I am full for one-on-one. Great ideas for expanding. Motif Music Studios, like for you, if you are talking, like you're fixing your studio now, make a video talking about why you're upgrading it, what you're doing. And then if people want to, one, support you and or buy what you're talking about, put a link in the description. Like, it's one of the easiest things that can add value because they get a different side of you. And two, it can help you keep the stuff coming. Okay, just learn to talk on the latest series. Probably take another 5 years to learn. Look, as long as you look into it, I don't care how long it takes. And I'm all about the instant bans when people blatantly break YouTube TOS. Look, YouTube also says it's our job as the creators to make sure the rules are being followed on platform. So I'm just doing what I got to do to make sure that we keep this business going. Geology, dude, great to see you. Thank you. Yes. I mean, you came in saying that you're working on the studio, so I think it's a natural fit. That's wild to me. It is wild to me as well. Now, I have a question for chat. I think that YouTube should allow YouTube Shorts, especially with them becoming longer, that kind of watch time hour to count towards monetization. I think if you're going to make those changes, and watch time hours are now becoming more and more easy to earn with the longer shorts coming, I think it's time to get rid of that requirement. Though, I'm curious, what are your thoughts, chat? Yeah, it's not for people who actually love YouTube like most of us in here. Yes. I think it's a yes to what I just posed from Scatha. Of course, Geology, dude. Happy to see you every time you enter. Also, longer shorts should have increased revenue split. Based on how they're currently working, I think it's hard. They could change the system though. I'd like to see them work that kink out though. I understand what you're saying. I think they still need to really build that. Keep it the same. You don't think shorts watch time should count towards monetization? Interesting. I think it should, only because it is like, it's weird that there's now a piece of content that's not equal. But I also understand it's a newer feature and subset for YouTube. But I'm always curious what people think. Video is a video, except when it's a live stream, except when it's a podcast, except when it's a short, because YouTube is separating them in tabs. But I understand what you mean. They do if you do get enough, right? I think it's still the 10 million views they count for monetization, which is, again, interesting. Because I think it should count, but again, always curious what people think about it. Here I am asking you all questions. And this is a fair point. I think short shelf views should count. Remember, if a short is watched outside of the short shelf, it do count. I mean, include all of it. But yes, you are correct. I think they are banking on the TikTok ban, which will completely change how shorts are managed. I think you've hit the real nail on the head. Yes, learn how to make a short go viral. Whew. Easier said than done. Also, virality these days has changed. I don't know, like, it used to be if a video hit like 15 million views in like 2 days, that was viral. Now, there are creators doing that in 12 hours. So it really does depend what viral means anymore. Good to see you again, Andrew. You gave us some inspiration today to get started on our new channel and not delete this one. See you soon. Of course. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Happy holidays and happy new year. And if you're watching this in the replay and it might be someone's birthday out there, happy birthday, I guess. Yep, I have to make monthly videos longer now. 1 minute was a good length. That's right. They changed that. Anything can go viral, to be honest. Yes, but what does viral mean? These days, it's harder. Andrew, millions of views on shorts pays pretty good, is what I'm trying to say. I've seen opposite. It does depend the CPM, the niche. I've seen channels hit like 10 million shorts views on one short. They were monetized and made like 300. That's not, look, extra $300 is great. Not good enough to be a full-time creator on it, but not bad. I'm just saying that it depends. Like anything on YouTube, it really does depend. Yes, they should count towards hours. All right. I've seen it where seems to be more so agree than disagree. So let me know in the replay or if you're still here. I think they should count, but I haven't made any 3-minute shorts, and for this reason, may as well make a longer video, LOL, in long form. That's also fair. Like I said, there are some times where if I want to make a video quickly, like I said, I like the ability to have longer. I like vertical a little bit, but I love horizontal a lot. So that's still my bread and butter for me personally. All views should count in any form. Views do, but not all watch time. For one sub channel, 1K is a viral video. For 1 million sub is super viral. Absolutely. That's a fair read. If anyone can do 10 million and 300 on every short, and you can post 3 like that a day, go for it. If that's fair, if you could do 10 million on every short and get 300 on every short, and you can post 3 of those, that's how you could do it. But I've not seen that level yet. I'm sure there's someone out there who is, maybe like a Jenny Hoyos. But it really also does depend niche, how it goes. Shorts are faster to make, and a good short that goes viral, it's a moneymaker. potentially can be. Again, I just haven't seen it consistently enough. Not that I say it isn't possible or isn't happening. I've just not personally seen it. But if that's happening for people, great. Remember the time when people got blank on for posting videos? Yeah, I do actually. But my thing is, I think vertical videos great. Give me more play. Give people more ways to create. I think that's good. I think as long as it's, human sharing their artistic expression in a way that's genuine to them, that helps others, that gives them an outlet to try new things and doesn't harm anyone. I'm glad we have more ways to create. Podcasts, I'm glad that that's being embraced on YouTube. I'm glad all these new things are being embraced on YouTube. And if I could, just say anything, is that the more we can do, the better. My shorts are like, do you get 500,000 or 50? And sometimes that's in 24 hours, 24 months, so much inconsistency. Andrew, see, this is how I know you haven't been over to my channel in a while. Fair enough. Although I'm not watching the shorts tab. Like I said, like shorts, like long form, much more. And look, if you have some incredible, shorts that are building and driving, that's great. But I still don't tend to check out people's shorts as much as their normal, videos. That's definitely on me. But I will say it does depend, like, what is a lot of money for someone, right? Like, that can change. Like, that also, like, I've seen some shorts with millions not do well, but you could definitely have a short that's doing well. Maybe you have 5 million, maybe you have 3 that can do it. And if you have a piece of, like, maybe you're using YouTube's built-in features to help, maybe that could do well for you. I would just say that I haven't seen it consistently enough to recommend it broadly. It does not mean it's not happening. Question: what determines a short going viral as far as number of views? I need to research this. Viral. That's exactly what I was just talking about earlier. Viral, I think at this point really depends your audience size. How much larger are you breaking out of your normal audience reach? For me, if I had a short that hits 100,000 views, that's 10 times my normal audience size. I think that's fair to say is viral for my channel. If Build and Fix with Mooney, who has, 24,000 subscribers, I'm rounding up, he hit a couple of shorts with over 1 million, I see. That's easily viral for his channel. I think virality in the old sense is not so much what we have now. Like, there are things that go viral, like sounds on TikTok, which is then used by hundreds and thousands of people. That's viral in its own way. I just think it's more on YouTube based, creator dependent these days. I do think if you can get on the trending tab, that still counts as virality for YouTube. I think if you have multiple larger creators and smaller creators talking about a subject you started, that's viral. It definitely changes. Virality is not what it used to be on YouTube. It's evolved, and I like where it's evolving to. Hope that helps. That's 2 different audiences for sure. Yes. That's what I mean. What meant watch time, fair enough. Depends which viral you mean. Viral, semi-viral, super viral, etc. Yep. Next year, I'll be starting a new channel where we will be making shorts and 15-minute series, hoping it will go viral, but need a team to... Fair enough. Ford freaking Ranger. Shorts are best when you are new. When you need to create easier videos that are not overwhelming, but longer videos are best, but are okay when mixed with shorts. I try to do all 3. I try to do live streams. I try to do shorts. I try to do normal videos. It's just finding what works for you and that you're happy making, to be honest. Andrew, I try and get the swipe away rate as high as 75% or higher. Look, that's great. YouTube says, and I quote, 50% or more is good. So if you're at 75% or higher, you're really, you're hitting what your audience is looking for. And I think that, when you find that, that's a good thing to find. And it's not easy. Like, it takes time. And you're experimenting very successfully there, Build and Fix with Mooney. And if you use the redirect successfully, you can bring them to longer form content. They can start getting to know you and check it out, which is a strength of YouTube compared to other, is that you can already have built-in content. On shorts. 75% on shorts. I figured that's what you meant. 75 plus is solid for shorts. If YouTube says you're aiming for 50%, you know, on that view swipe away rate, 75% is even better if you're hitting it. That's great. I know that truck. I ain't no stranger. I am not a Ford Ranger driver. I drive something a little different. That's another question for another day. Look, I will say that we've had a really great time here. And with that, I just want to say thank you everyone who watches. Shout outs to everyone who's in this community, who've joined, who asked a question. If you're wanting to keep this conversation going, I highly, highly recommend two things. One, consider joining our Discord. We have a free Discord that you can meet and chat with a lot of the creators you see here. We also have a membership, which if you are looking for more one-on-one help from me and my team, we offer a membership with the join button. Chantel is a member. We have a lot of things that we do to help our members out. I've been very blessed and grateful to be able to have this conversation here with you, whether live in the replay. And I'm just wanting to say, if you want to also, you know, check out another great creator, Chantel Hills, Chantel, add me to your redirect list, please. You can check out her live stream later. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your time and hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy New Year, happy holidays, happy birthday, happy Arbor Day, happy whatever day you watch this on. Hope it's a good one. Take care.